What's up, hustlers? So yesterday, we went on a tour of this warehouse. And it was like, well, it was pitched to us as a creative space. So me and the team, the crew, we got together. We went, it was maybe 25 minutes from my house, which is really, really good. And we were offered to come and see this creative space. We didn't really know the context, right? Because he reached out to somebody, one of the crew members, Troy, and he told her to come look at it. And she's an MC. So with her MC, moving to event planning, the look or what it is that he wanted, we didn't know what it was, right? He's like, hey, I got this creative spot. I want you guys to come see and tour. What it turned out to be, he was like, hey, he just offered us a membership basically. But the place was way bigger than what we thought it was. There were 6 or so creative rooms, state-of-the-art equipment in there. And the podcast room was immaculate, amazing. He's building another one. There's photography space, all this stuff that you might want, right? If y'all seen the 7,000 square foot building that I want to renovate in Philly at this other business, that'll give you an idea of what this space actually was, but way bigger. Like, I didn't ask the square footage. It might have been 30,000 square feet. But this was a real production facility. He has a part of his business where Jay-Z is doing a Roots picnic in Philadelphia here. So they were there rehearsing the day before. We were trying to go yesterday, we couldn't do it because they were there rehearsing at that time. And so all of the artists and all that stuff, but he does the sound stages. Sound is very expensive when you think about a concert. If you didn't know that, sound is very, very expensive. Stage is very, very expensive. I mean, you're talking a minimum at like a homecoming concert, a stage might be 50 or 60 grand. You're talking about sound might be 150 grand for just like a college homecoming, okay? I know that because I used to do it. One of my boys does all the homecomings for HBCU. So just to give you that idea. And there was 2 or 3 massive studio spaces as far as like Wawa Books and does commercials there. Car commercials go there. Being able to pull in cars in there. All of this stuff that is in this space. And so just mentally, what I'm getting at, and I'm trying to explain like the gravity of the person that I'm having this conversation with, and to give you guys some context. But what I'm getting at is, if you want to play this game, you got to be able to identify opportunities, okay? And before you can identify opportunity, you must know what you are capable of doing. You must know what you want to do. One of the most asked questions in the Bougie Business Club by the girls is, what does that look like? And they ask this question so much, it's ingrained in my head. And I actually like that they ask that question, because my response to them always is, what do you want it to look like? Because the possibilities of what's possible are only in your imagination, right? So I tell them all the time, dream the biggest dream. Whatever the biggest dream is, dream up the biggest dream. Let me see how this light's gonna look. Let me get a little super bright. If I go this way, it's probably gonna be dumb bright. I'm just gonna turn around and go back this way. All right, so what does this look like? Whatever you want it to look like. What do you want it to look like? You got to create it. You can't walk into spaces. You can't walk into opportunity and ask the other person, well, what do you want from us? You can, but don't be surprised if they don't have an answer, one, or not on top of not having an answer, they don't have an answer that fits what you do, okay? So the first thing you need, and again, this goes back to the system. Step 1, fucking clarity. You gotta be clear about what it is that you do and what you want. So when you walk into a space, when you walk into an opportunity, you gotta dream it. Dream it like you can't, it's not even fucking possible. It's not possible. Yesterday we walked into this space, in the creative space, in the podcast space, the price for it, all that stuff, crazy reasonable. But my mind went somewhere totally different. I'm seeing everything else. I don't even give a fuck about this podcast room. Because, oh, you telling me y'all doing commercials out of here for companies? I got a list of companies. We need some stuff. I was actually trying to build this in Philadelphia. I got it right here. So I might be able to just ship the equipment here, do the training tutorials here. Y'all got psych walls. Y'all got this. Y'all got everything we need. And my mind is going to, I got to see the output. I got to see what you're producing out of this place. Now, are you handling production, or do you have the space and equipment and they're bringing their own production team? I know they probably are, but do you have the capabilities of production? What's being produced out of this space, and how much does it cost? Because me identifying opportunity says, oh shit, I can sell this service now because I know where to get it. You guys can produce it. I can sell it. Let's go make some money, right? That space was overload for where we are currently today. Now, let me get into the conversation. So we're having a conversation at the end, and we're just going back and forth, just discussing the culture. And this is one of the biggest problems with our culture, I think. And this is what I realized when I was doing what I was doing in corporate as a consultant and on the road, all of that stuff that you guys hear me say all the time. The biggest problem with our culture is that we just don't know. Like, we don't know. So he's like, we're like, okay, well, what did you see for her in the space? He's like, I just wanted to show you guys what I had, pretty much what he said, in a different little way. You know, I don't tell people, he's like, I don't tell people what to do. I just tell them, you know, I just show them what I got, and I let them, you know, do their thing, because I'm old. He's like, I'm old, and I don't want, like, whatever the case is, basically, I don't tell people what to do, okay? I just provide what I provide, and I move on. And so at that point, I hadn't really told him anything about myself, what we were trying to do. And then at that point, I jumped into like, well, here's what we're trying to do. Basically, we're trying to put the business around the talent. She's a talent. So I'm trying to put the business around her. The space is great. The opportunities are great. Like, what training do you guys have? Do you guys have producers and stuff like that? You can hire he's like, yeah, you can hire one of our guys. And he went into this story of this entrepreneur that had booked out the space for like $3,000 a month. And he's like, she came like a good period of time, and she would hire my guy, but my guy became like her producer. And that's not really how it works. It's like, you have to kind of know what you want to do and all of that kind of stuff. And in her case, she didn't know. So, you know, maybe she did 6 months or 8 months or something. Then she stopped coming for a while, said it wasn't working for her. And he's like, it's not that it wasn't working for her. What it was that she didn't know it was work for her to do, right? And what that meant in my eyes was like, and that takes me back to why I built what I built now, right? So I got corporate offer, and I'm gonna make a video dedicated on this. I got my corporate clients, 2 on the hook right now. At the height of things, it was about five big ones, and then some little ones that I was just working with here or there. And then I came up with my startup club, right? Which is to help entrepreneurs get started, right? Now, the 6-Figure Startup Club is a guide to getting your business organized so that you can do business at whatever level you want to get to, long before scaling. So the reason I created that was because the knowledge, being able to identify opportunity, being clear about what you want, looking the part, having a funnel, having a website, and then building something that could work without you, that can educate people without you, so that your business doesn't die in the first handshake, in the first hello, in the first time people see you, that you can actually build something that isn't manually required for you to follow up on a consistent basis. But the reason I started that is because people don't know how to identify opportunity. People don't know how to get what they want out of the opportunities that they do see or have, and it's because they don't know how to dream. And they're not clear about what they want in the first place. So the girls asking, I'm waiting for the day they stop asking, well, what does that look like? Hey, you want us to have this event at your space? Well, what does that look like? Hey, you want this? Well, what does that look like? Oh, you want me to do what? What does that look like? This is literally our conversation. And every time they say it, I respond the same way. What do you want it to look like? What happens is, if you are clear about what you want, you walk into any opportunity and dream the biggest dream and let that person dial it back down to what is actually possible. Forget if you're capable of doing it, right? We're going into a pitch this morning, 11 a.m., to go from somewhere between $500 and $850 MC of a host of an event to going somewhere between $4,000 and $12,000 as a event coordinator, event planner, simply off of the possibility of being able to identify opportunity. The truth is, I don't know the first thing about planning. Well, I did plan my Made the Hustle event, but as far as being an actual event planner or what to charge, I got no fucking clue. She's already doing the legwork, but she's never put value on it, right? So I went with her to a meeting as they were doing an event in the Merlin Live Casino. She's already there. I'll naturally step in for lighting and all of that kind of stuff. Y'all don't know I used to be a photographer back in my day. But I'm like, you're already doing the work. You might as well get paid for it. This lady doesn't have a clue as what's going on. The casino's kind of doing the process, but you could be event planner and your $600 a day turns into a $4,000 a day at the minimum. It turns into a $8,000 a day if you do this. It turns into a $12,000 a day if you do that, and you add the media on top of it. And the truth is, you just take the money and you contract it out. Now, you got to build up your resource list. There's things that you got to do. But if you operate in the things that you got to do that aren't necessarily needed, you're always going to find that no matter what you do, there's 10 more things that you need to do. No matter what you learn, there's 10 more things that you need to learn. And done is better than perfect. What could happen? You've never done this business before. We're going to walk in. We're going to get a contract for X amount of dollars, whatever it may be. Okay? The worst thing that can happen is that we fall flat on our face. We do a horrible fucking job and they never book us again. That could mean they never book us again to be an MC. That could mean they never book us again to do an event, or maybe they don't hire us for events and they say, look, y'all ain't do a good job at the event, but you're a great MC. We just want you to stay in the MC lane. At the most, we lose $650 a year. At the most, we use $650 a year. But the upside is far likely greater that even if we do go in here and things don't go right, well, the truth is, shit doesn't go right at any event, no matter what happens. But the beauty of having her be the MC is she gonna make it look like it was perfect the whole goddamn time, because that's what you do. You always covering up for other people's problems anyway. You're better off covering up and fixing your own goddamn problems. So you need to be able to start to identify opportunities. And if I could give you any piece of advice, it would be to build what you need and sell it. That's what the world is today. Build what you need. Whatever it is you need, build it, perfect it, put a system behind it, put some training behind it, and then once you got it done and package it up and sell it. So hope you guys got something out of this morning talk. I'm about to put together this concept for the whiteboard because I believe people are only doing 3 things in the world. Let me see if I got this right, because this was my morning thoughts. There's people doing business, there's people showing people how to do business, and there are people, I don't want to say consumers. What was the third one? People doing business, people showing people how to do business, and I guess maybe consuming business was the third one. Can't quite remember. Yeah, I think people were doing, whatever the case, I'm gonna put this concept together. It's gonna be a dope one, I'm telling you. I got it mapped out in my mind. That's why I like to just get these things out of my head, because 5 seconds later, I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm your boy, First State Stan, 7-figure Stan here on YouTube, 6-figure Stan on YouTube. I'm sorry, on Instagram, First State Stan. I'm all over the place. Remember, everybody needs a Stan. Peace.